All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go. Justified Homicide. All right. Let me have you take a step down and we can have everyone scoot over so we can get everybody on the stage. One more time, give it up for him, please. Thank you all so much for being here. We really appreciate it. Before we go on with our conversation, please introduce yourselves.
My name is A.C.P. I'm the director, writer, executive producer.
It's so difficult even for me seeing it, just being the character. It's really emotional for me. It's very challenging. It's really difficult. So, but I thank everybody for the love and thanks for coming.
We appreciate it.
I am Nick Okerman, actor. I play Officer McLean, and just like Joe said, thank you, A.C.P. It was just a fun experience. So,
We're going down Justin Paul, played the brother of our main character, Eric. Peace.
All right.
Yeah, I'm active.
Woo! Go Justin!
Arlen Parker, producer.
Woo!
My name is Lee Simpson. I'm an actor. I play the defense attorney.
Terrence Holtz, second AD on it. Sorry, super nervous.
What's up, Terrence?
So, with this film, you know, we have seen, unfortunately, countless different kinds of films that talk about the hardships and, you know, the sad consequences that happen afterwards with these films. Why did you choose to do a film like this during this time? Or should I say, moreover, what makes this film different from, let's say, other films that we've seen similar to this?
The one thing that makes this film, well, originally this film was supposed to be a documentary. I interviewed probably like 10 police officers.
Oh, wow.
In the process of interviewing the police officers, I kept on getting the same reaction, which was, can I say this off the record? And obviously, off the record means you can't record it, you can't do certain things, and the things they were saying were stuff like, I can't say this on the record because if I say this on the record, if I go to a call, nobody's gonna show up. If I do certain things, it's gonna come back on me.
Wow.
And then one officer told me about, in particular, the law that they're talking about, which is conferences ground, and how it was created to make sure officers had an advantage in situations like this. So it was pretty much, they couldn't be judged on what happened at this. It couldn't be judged on 2020 hindsight, what people think should have happened. They only can be judged based on what the police officers say at the scene. So in most cases, you see a police officer does something, they tell them to go home, they don't talk to them for 3 days because they have to, coach it based on what needs to be said. Wow. You know what I'm saying? So, so my way of doing this film was to have, the only way to go around that is for the officers to come on the record and say this was wrong. Otherwise, there's really anything you can't really do. You know, with the George Floyd situation, George Floyd was handcuffs, so there was nothing that they couldn't do. But with other situations where people are not in handcuffs, it becomes more difficult to judge a police officer in 2020 hindsight.
This particular story that you're telling, was this was this part of your research, this story, or is this something that you just wrote out? Because, I mean, the scene, he was going to go see his girl, he's got his phone in one hand, he's got hot coffee in the other hand, spills it, drops it, bang, bang.
No, this is something I wrote. This is just a combination of different stories that I've seen and, how these things happen in these situations. I was in a situation where the police pulled a gun out on me for no particular reason. Luckily, I listened to what he said. I didn't, there was no like actually had an opportunity to talk to him after the fact, and, you know, he felt like it was stupid what he did, but still, probably would have just said something stupid like that.
Blue Shield is real. Let's go down the line with more. You were stating earlier, you know, this was kind of difficult to
Very difficult.
explain.
Officer Robinson, you know, this is something that is part of our country, and it's horrible. But, you know, the film or the acting world was created from theater. The acting world was created from theater, and theater was created to teach, to change people's thinking. And that's what we're doing here. So for me to have an opportunity to help be a part of something that's going to change thinking, to bring awareness, was a great thing for me to do, to be a part of. And even though it's hard for me to play this character, it gave me a chance, an opportunity to maybe open people's eyes to what's going on, what's really happening every damn day. And it just makes me angry. I had to play this character, but it was very, very difficult. But I think it's something that could maybe change somebody. If you can just change one thing, one person, one film, or one thing, then you should do it. You know?
For you, in this particular scene when the shots were fired,
Right.
At any point when there was a cut, how do you feel? What goes through your mind at that point when the director says cut? You know, were you feeling bad about the situation, or what was it for you?
It's horrible. It's the emotions are just unreal. You know, first of all, when you work with everybody, you become friends. But you have to realize what you're doing, and you have to, as an actor, you have to really feel internally what's going on. So you have to really become a part of that character yourself to make it real. You have to live in that moment. So, you know, I had to be this person. I had to feel like he would feel. And, you know, and I talked to a guy the other day, and you know, watching this, you know, this is a character that really shouldn't, or this person should never have been, you know, on duty. He's got things going on in his head. There's psychologically, there's things wrong. So, you know, I had to feel that myself. And I was on a power trip. You don't see anybody else. He's just on a power trip with trying to do this. And I think this happens a lot. It's real. And so you have to feel it, but you can't turn it off. And you know, at the end when it happened, he's, you know, the character is just trying to like just be oblivious of it. I gotta do my thing and turn, you know, make the call. But again, you know, living and watching it, it's very difficult for me to sit here and talk about it and watch it.
Well, we appreciate your thoughts and the aspects of, you know, your feelings and what you were going through with that, you know, as far as being an actor and, you know, doing this particular role. So thank you for your thoughts on it. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
And down the line.